made special provisions at the AICTE. Those who want to take core engineering, particularly girls, we give full scholarship to them. Last 10 years, a lot of changes has happened in the education. First let us look positively rather than going negatively. But today, our engineers are our talent, particularly in engineering and management education. I think you totally will agree with me. Our whole world is looking at talent of India and engineering and management. Yes or no? I appeal to everybody, whether it is in humanity or social science or science, engineering, medicine, agriculture. Everybody has to learn about artificial intelligence.
So today morning, when I just opened my computer, the first thing I saw was a report on the status of the higher education institutions in India. And it was by a private HR consultancy firm, which says that 75% of HEIs in India are not aligned with higher industry needs. And of course, they have given so many indicators of why our higher education is not sufficiently grooming our students for various industry roles. And of course, we have the other issues related to higher education, and especially the rankings. We still don't come on top in the world rankings. But China has got so many universities in the top 50 and 100, but we are not being able to do that. So in this scenario, I mean, you have been in the leadership role in AICTE and also in important institutions like IIT. And also your experience of studying abroad and also understanding the educational systems abroad. What do you think are the immediate priorities of the regarding the Indian higher education system? How we can make a transformation now that we are also in the AI age, where so many disruptions are going to take place. Earlier, it was the COVID which caused a lot of disruptions because so many things, technology could break the geographical barriers. And now it is more of, the AI phenomenon that is being discussed in the higher education circles. So what do you think are the immediate priorities for the higher education sector in India? And now that the new bill was also introduced in the parliament, Vikasit Bharat Shiksha Adhistan bill. So in this backdrop, what do you think are the immediate priorities for the policymakers and also the academic leaders like you to address for the...
Thank you. Thank you. See, Indian higher education system, all of us have to accept, is undergoing profound transformation. And with the implementation of national education policy in 2019, and also driven by the ambitious reforms by the government and the integration of, as you rightly said, the new technologies, not only just artificial intelligence, cyber security, Internet of Things, virtual reality, augmented reality, and more importantly, overarching vision of the National Education Policy 2020 is the very critical in bringing flexibility to the students. But you started with China comparison. Chinese are at least 10, 20 years ahead of us in the transformation. So let's accept that we have many things to do in the nation, not just. If you look at positively, I think all of you will agree, particularly the institution like yours, where you yourselves have witnessed the changes in the way learning happens and also teaching learning happens. Okay, and the emphasis on problem solving, critical thinking, and universal human values has got into the education system of higher education. We have to accept that, which was not there, about 10 years back. So if you look at the proposed, you are also talked about proposed higher education bill, which has been introduced in the parliament and which has been referred to the Joint Parliamentary Committee, that is Vikasit Bharat Shiksha Adhistan. bill of 2025. Okay, particularly where it is going to replace the institutions like University Grants Commission, All India Council for Technical Education, and National Council for Teacher Education. These three will be merged. But what is most important is it brings three components again. That is the regulatory commission, accreditation commission, and general education or standard setting commission. And the funding is completely separated out of the bill. This reform seeks to streamline processes, make it simplified, improve quality, and align the system with global standards. See, we whether we like it or not, see, I am also a professor for last 35 years. A lot of changes in higher education has happened. And today, just let's look at it because I was a former chairman of AICTE. Look at the engineering education itself. We might have started wrongly in 80s, large number of mushrooming colleges. 87 AICTE was born. And that is the same time in India also started to open up its economy. And we were actually being the coolies of the IT, transformed into IT leadership. Okay, in 2000, we solved the problem of Y2K for the world. And then in the last 25 years, phenomenal things have happened. And particularly in the last 10, 12 years, majority of the things have happened. Today, our engineers are our talent, particularly in engineering and management education. I think you'll totally will agree with me. Our whole world is looking at talent of India and engineering and management education. Yes or no? We agree. Why? Because see, today there are close to 4,000 global capability centers have come to India to hire our talent. Okay, and any company, whether America, Europe, any part of the world, you walk in, there will be an engineer and a management person who has graduated from India, and more so with Keralites. Okay, more so with Keralites. Let's be realistic. I know we all very ambitious to see greater change and catch up with China, America. Okay, but let's not look at only the GDP. Okay, GDP, we are now fifth largest. We are going to become in 1 year the fourth largest. Maybe in another 2 years will be the third largest. But all of us will agree with you that GDP or the economy of a nation is closely linked to higher education, because we are discussing that part today. The higher education is very critical. So we are the third largest higher education ecosystem in the world today. Well, let's come to the quality in a little while. Okay, number wise, about 4.5 crore children are studying in higher education. 80% of them are with the state, private, and public universities. Please note this. 80% of the students have registered are with state, private, and public universities. State university enacted by the state governments, because it's a concurrent topic, concurrent listed topic between the state government and the federal system. So today we have started so many IITs, triple ITs. Today it's a brand actually. IITs are a brand of the to the world itself, not only just for India. There are countries are seeking to establish our institutions. So it's a very good sign when I compare to my time. Why? Because the learning, in my time has to happen only with teacher-assisted learning. Teacher is to come to the classroom and write it on the board. And we were busy in taking the notes because we couldn't afford even textbooks. All of them are all the abroad textbooks in English. Okay, we were only taking notes. But today we have Swayam Plus, AICTE, eCum portal, putting textbooks in multiple languages. Today you can find textbooks in Malayalam. I myself came, and the Honorable President of India released the Malayalam textbooks in both the diploma and engineering. You are aware of it. Okay, we did it in Thiruvananthapuram only. So what is interesting is today is higher education is transforming, and at the right time we brought in the national education policy. And you also talked about COVID, but I'll tell you, COVID has helped us to leapfrog the technology. See, we all so resistant to adapt ourselves to technology, but COVID forced us to do. Every school, children and then worker and professors, teachers, everybody has to graduate and adopt the technology. And COVID helped us to do it. So friends, what I was trying to tell you is the new bill, what has been brought by the Ministry of Education, is set to become one of the most influential milestone in India's higher education reforms, because it's going to simplify the system by unifying regulation, bringing transparency, strengthening standards, and aligning governance with global frameworks. So we are going outside. Abroad universities are coming in. They are not a threat, because India has large number of students or aspirants to higher education. I will also talk about it in a little while about this. So this bill promises to unlock new possibilities for institutions, for students, and the national economy. So most importantly, what I would like to tell you, it is why we are very confident it's going to work, because we have done a similar kind of a light but tight system in AICTE. All of you are aware, because you're engineering college mainly. So you now don't need to visit AICTE in Delhi. You will get it all approvals online and no physical inspections. So a lot of changes we at AICTE during my term itself, 3 years, we have done. That demonstrated very clearly that we can do changes. We can bring in such a very simplified regulation which will be useful to the institutions more than the government. Okay, so I think this is a golden time. We are all have to be positive about it. But I know that implementation is actually the devil is in the implementation. I also understand, but we have to move on. Okay, and let me also tell you, as I told you, my engineers are today. See, we started when we got independence, 1947, with 1% GER, gross enrollment ratio in higher education. We grew in 2001 to 11%. That means we took 54 years to increase 10% GER. But 2001 to 2025, 25 years, we increased to 18%. Today is 29%. And our goal through national education policy and also the new bill is to reach 50% by 2035. It is doable because a lot of students are waiting to come to universities today. Large number of students are there, because you also know we reached 94% GR in elementary education in 2015. So in last 10 years, they were all promoted, and they are all in the class 10. In 2 years, there will be large number of influx to the higher education. But we also have a big challenge. I agree with you that to build new universities for the new incoming students, because almost similar number is coming. Another 4.5 crore children are going to come to higher education by 2035. That's a big challenge for us to create newer institutions, newer universities, and newer programs, and also deliver through quality. Okay, that's very important.
You mentioned about engineering education. Now, I think engineering education faces a big challenge because even coding, a lot of things can now be done by AI. And Indian engineers actually flourished because there was a big demand for coders. And also, when it comes to teaching profession also, in higher education, looking at your profile, we are actually so wonderstruck because you have, apart from teaching, you have been involved in research and consultancy. So in this change scenario, what will be the ideal thing? And another reform that is coming is introduction of 4-year programs, degree programs. Whether that is suited in the modern conditions after the introduction of AI, whether we should, in foreign universities, I don't think have these 4-year programs as a standard or a uniform thing. But of course, we have the ABC, Academic Bank of Credit, and other things introduced. But still, two important things. One is the future of engineering education, how it should be transformed considering the technological changes taking place and the new, the opportunities that are being lost because of the new technologies. And second thing is the role of the teacher in engineering higher education. Like, can they just restrict their job to just teaching as in the old system, or like you as a role model, involved in also projects and startup activities?
Let me begin with your artificial intelligence. Okay. Integrating AI into education is a strategic priority for India. Not only India, to the whole world. Because you cannot be neglecting technologies. Technologies, whether you like it or not, have been introduced already. They are with you. They are not anymore a new one. They are part and parcel of it. Unless we embrace, adopt ourselves, we cannot be the leaders. So we need to first of all embrace this technology. I appeal to everybody, whether it is in humanity or social science or science, engineering, medicine, okay, agriculture. Everybody has to learn about artificial intelligence. I even lightly say there is nothing artificial about it. This is an augmented intelligence, or what you call as a crowd intelligence. So it has to be implemented in every stream, and we have to modify the curriculum, bring it to the state-of-the-art new curriculum. And coming to teachers, it is a very important time where we have to focus on developing skills, whether it is research skills, whether it is innovation skills, or whether it is self-learning, and that complement AI, leveraging unique human abilities. In alignment with the national education policy, AICTE, you already know that, designated 2025 as the year of AI. We have done phenomenal things in the last 1 year. This initiative transformed, I can say, transformed India to a global AI hub. Why? Because I will tell you, you go to any company, particularly the companies like Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI. Please look at their employee profiles. All of them, majority of them are Indians. Whether we like it or not, whether it is in America, Europe, or India. Okay. So how did this happen? I will tell you, AICTE introduced 4-year undergraduate program as early as possible in 2018 itself in data science and artificial intelligence. Even our IITs are a little slower, because when I was the director at IIT Guwahati, a philanthropist came to me to start a BTech program in data science and AI, and we did with his help of finances, okay, and also taken it to the new policy in the JEE. But when I came to AICTE in 22, I asked a first question to my officers: how many colleges are offering data science and artificial intelligence? To my surprise, more than 1,000 colleges were already offering data science and AI in one or the other form. Maybe they call BTech in computer science, in bracket data science, BTech in computer science, in bracket artificial intelligence and ML, machine learning. So like that courses, and some universities who had a freedom, they had a program itself in data science and AI. So by 2022, very large number of graduates came out in AI. So we don't need to worry about AI awareness in India. I will tell you, our young people are completely aware of, particularly in engineering. I'm not talking about in other streams. We have a responsibility to spread that to other streams. So future of engineering education, according to me, is very, very bright, because we are producing close to 1.5 million engineers every year, and they will be the engineers of the world. And you saw already the world is worried about the talent of India, the capabilities of Indian engineers. Okay, they are accommodative, they are very democratic. In addition to their skills in engineering, and coding is not the only one. Let me tell you, even the GCCs, what I've established in India, Global Capability Center, doesn't do coding. They are solving the real world problems of the whole world. They are also very senior level. They are not entry level. See, all of you know that the GCC Global Capability Centers, close to 4,000, Tirunelveli is also contributing to that. So coding might be, take a new shape. Why? Because the basic coding will be done by AI chatbots or agentic AIs, and the rest of it will be improved, and very few people may be there. As I told you, AI is going to disrupt the way we work, and we think also. So job roles will change, but doesn't mean that we should be scared of it. You already know what happened in 70s and 80s. When computers came in, most of our banks and most of the went on strike. But in 20 years, when we adopted computers into our all streams, all sectors, we became the world leader in technology, particularly in the IT. Okay. Similarly, it is up time to tell everybody that we need to embrace this technology of AI, and we should not be left behind. AI for all. And I am the chair of the AI Impact Summit, which is happening in February 15th to 20th. I chair the human capital working. So I'm very, very happy. And the way we AICTE did the comprehensive curriculum overall and core branch integration with computer science and new programs, formal rollout of BTech courses in AI and data science and new specialized courses in BBA and BCA. AICTE took 7,000 new institutions taking approvals. We have made a new curriculum with artificial intelligence, data science, and all the emerging areas, part of the BBA, BCA curriculum also. And we have launched teachers training, because that's a very big challenge. But you have raised a very pertinent question. Training teachers or upskilling the teachers to the new order is a very big challenge, because they are resistant to change. Young people are very, very adaptable. So many activities like AI student chapters, lectures, online, training, and we have also created 3 teachers training, CEEE, that is Center for Excellence in Engineering Education and Practice, and project, and this PG certification program for senior teachers to convert themselves into emerging areas. All these options are provided by AICTE during my time. Okay. And a lot of work has happened. So we have created AICTE Atal Academy, running large number of faculty development program, online, offline. So 300,000 have been trained. Another 350,000 are left behind, because our numbers are very large in our nation. So we mandatory innovation cells, as you rightly said, you see, we move from not just for AI adoption. We also have to make our students product development people. That means hands-on experience, creative thinking, asking questions, solving problems, research bent of mind, design thinking. All these concepts have to be brought in and make our young people innovators or startup creators. And it is also, you see, in India, we are actually born with the skills of entrepreneurship, because majority of our small scale industries and shops and everything, even Kerala is a leader in that. You don't need to say much. See, in that context wise also, we are well placed. We are 3rd largest startup capital of the world. Maybe we are still doing something on the service sector, but we have to move into product development sector. But we started late. We should also accept that we started late. But this is the golden time. This is the Amrit Kal for Indian higher education system. So we have, through the digital platforms like Skill India Digital Hub, Swayam Portal, Swayam Plus Portal, National Education Alliance for Technology of AICTE, eCum Portal of AICTE, Placement Portal, and the Career Portal of AICTE. All of them have made, and also Skilling for AI Readiness platform, AI for All program, curriculum integration. All of these actually has placed us in a better place today. And our students are very good. And if you dream of achieving GER by 2035, 50%, let me assure you, our engineers and managers will be omnipresent in every country and every company of the world. There is no doubt about it, because we are the youngest nation in the world, very talented, and most importantly, most of them can speak English and write English, which is the language of the world. In addition to that, we have also given them in mother tongue, the books, textbooks, teaching, learning, so that their innovative capacity is also increased. More importantly, what we have to do is not only this technical thing, you have to also make them universal human value, human people, they should accept and learn to give things, consider the whole world as, you see, today peace is also very important. See, the world is geopolitically become very disturbed today. And India's role will be very prime, not just becoming a GDP #1 or making all our students go to higher education. We also have to make them very calm and composed and be the peace ambassadors to the world as well. That's a big challenge for us in the higher education sector for India.
And you mentioned about the AI summit to be held in February, and where you will be focusing on human capital, especially. So you also mentioned about the AI skills that are being imparted for the higher education sector. And I think in the third standard onwards, in schools also AI is going to be taught. But the other aspect you just briefly mentioned is the human-centric skills, which have to be parallelly developed. So we can say it is a AI complementary on the one side and AI collaborative. We need to work with AI at the same time, develop skills which AI don't have. Are we equipped for that kind of, at least the higher education level, are we equipped for that kind of a training?
See, as I give you the numbers and statistics already, our numbers are quite, large, and there we are the force to reckon with. But coming to the infrastructure to train in AI literacy, we are very poor. Let us accept that. We are still talking about 40,000 GPUs, okay, and which has been put by the MIT. And millions of GPUs, Americas and Chinese, and even a country like Indonesia has. Okay, so we need to do a lot in the GPUs. Okay, graphical processing. We are still in the CPU era, and our data is simply flowing into the external world because we are not developing our own tools. See, our tools, data is today a commodity, money is actually, okay? Data is the new oil, new fuel, okay? At that time, we have to develop and keep our data intact with us because we are a huge population, because we have exposed almost everybody into smartphone. A person who cannot read, write also can use the UPI today. Our digital public infrastructure is one of the best examples for the whole world. And we are digital tech savvy people today in the whole world. So when compared to whole world, we are actually penetrated our digital technologies, but we have to develop our own tools. Indigenous, Swadeshi, as our Honorable Prime Minister highlights, we have to develop indigenous tools and keep our data inside. We have to create data centers. We have to create, to do that, the kind of infrastructure required. That's where we are actually lacking. We need to do that. And NEP is also allows us the modernization of the way we offer programs you talked about. So you have to come up with design your degrees. It is not just 4-year, 3-year, 2-year point. ABC, APAR ID. You have to use migration of certifications. And anything you student learn should be creditable. Okay. All these is actually, I hope, if you do well, we can do that through VBSA bill. Okay, because it is integrated. So new standards can be set up. So promoting online learning, including digital expansion, is also very critical to reach out to the people who could not come to universities of our country. Even though we have engineering colleges, I will tell you, even every district has 2-3 engineering colleges. Even Andaman and Nicobar has an engineering college. That means we have democratized the engineering education today already with only 29% GER. And if you make it 50% and component of the technical education is also increased, definitely we will be the engineers of the world. There is an excellent opportunity. As I told you, it's a golden time, but we need to work very hard, improve on quality. There is no question. Second question about improving that quality, and the critical skills of the young people have to be changed. Skilling, upskilling, reskilling has to be continuously done, because today what we have learned in the classroom is no use today. We have to learn beyond classrooms. So some of these newer concepts, the way we teach is also have to be changed. It cannot be conventional. So our teachers have to be changed. So a lot of these concepts of AICTE is already brought through AICTE Idea Lab, Project Practice, AICTE Production Fellowship, through Smart India Hackathon competitions, faculty development training, academic bank of credits, and multiple entry exit options in the universities, and accelerated degree programs, in the sense, for example, a student completes required 160 credits, 40 credits per year. Within 3.5 years, we should be allowed to graduate. And we should empower our universities and our bodies within the universities, like academic council, senate, also empowered, and they should take the decisions. So when that happens, That's where the lacking is happening, because as I told you, majority of our institutions are state enacted, private and public university. They should also wake up and follow the NEP, and then I will tell you, we can bring a big change in India in higher education. And it is very important. We don't have a choice at all. We have to do this as a collective effort.
In engineering education, there was a trend in the 90s and also early 2000, 2010, where students wanted to get admission for computer science mainly. Maybe one or two streams. But your background is in civil engineering. There are so many core engineering disciplines which India could utilize. But over a period of time, students preferred this one or two like computer science, electronics, or electrical, 2-3 main avenues. But considering that India is not as strong in manufacturing, in fact, there is so much criticism about our inability to not scale up our manufacturing. Although we have now invested in semiconductor and other things, and Andhra Pradesh has told a quantum computing facility is also coming up. Chandrababu Naidu has announced that. But our competence is in agri products, electronics, then digital payments, infrastructure, defense, and also in the infrastructure area, where you were also focused and you were involved in this Chenab bridge and other projects. So do you think that we also need to focus, strengthen our core disciplines and attract more students into that, considering India's unique strength in these areas?
I completely agree with you. There is no differential, the differences with your observation. See, but you yourself already know, in Kerala itself, civil engineering admissions has increased now, 15% last year. So last 3 years, there is an increase in all these things. So we have made special provisions at the AICTE. Those who want to take core engineering, particularly girls, we give full scholarship to them. So such new schemes have been brought in, so that the women participation in higher education, and core people who are opting for core engineering promotion for them, and integration, of AI complementary skills and abilities in all core competencies, civil, mechanical, electrical, and manufacturing also. As I told you, we have started late, but we are doing very well. Today, automobiles, we are the largest manufacturers of automobiles. Tractors, we are the largest manufacturer of the tractors. So many things are happening. And semiconductor, we have started in a very big way. Quantum, we have started in a very big way. And AICTE also has done model curriculum and a minor degree option for quantum technology, space technology, defense technology, atomic energy technology. These are all the new ideas when I was during my term as chairman AICTE brought in, so that we catch young people young at the very BTech level itself. So they can take a minor degree and go for a PhD and other programs and working in our scientific institutions. And if you look at the numbers, most of the AICTE approved institutions only are giving the manpowers for all our premier scientific institutions. You know it because ISRO major facility is in Thiruvananthapuram. And all of them, where did they graduate from? Ask them. 90% of them from my engineering colleges of AICTE approved. None of them are from, not majority of them from IITs and NITs. Majority of the people who are successful in space, defense, atomic energy are all engineers of the second and third grade engineering college. Even including the faculty of IITs, if I ask all IITs and NITs, where did you graduate? They will start with, I did my MTech from IIT Madras, PhD from Carnegie Mellon, postdoc from Harvard. But I have to repeat the question to them. Where did you graduate? They would have graduated. They will never tell you. 90% or 95% of the faculty in IIT are all from engineering colleges. And we have to change this narrative. I think, I appeal to you. Some of your colleges, what you are doing is a phenomenal service to the nation. See, you go to America, you go to Europe, all of them are all graduates of my AICTE approved engineering colleges. So we have done exceedingly well. As I told you, we have democratized engineering education, but we are going to do that also much better. Once, we also add quality part, AI integration part into that. So I hope we have covered all the topics. What
just one more important point, like it is more of a philosophical thing. I think you will be able to reflect on that. Indians by nature, we are a little bit of spiritual also, and we focus on traditionally self-realization and self-actualization. All these concepts are there. Now, philosophically, if you look at examine our ethics and other things also, traditionally we focus more on that. But the Western nations, they are more materialistic. Maybe that is one reason why we have not advanced that much.
I do not agree with you. Why? Look at it. 500 top technology companies are headed by Indians. Why? In US, I'm not talking about India. Why? Because of these skills, what you said. See, they're adaptable, they are accommodative, they take everybody along. Okay. Today, you ask an American companies, they all want an Indian to be heading their organization because they are not only talented, they are excellent in their scientific caliber, but they are also great human being. People accommodative, very calm, composed. They take everybody along. It is not that every credit has to come to me. They share. So this kind of attitude, what you yourself highlighted, is actually a boon to Indian engineers. We should actually inculcate that more and more for the new generation. That new generation is missing that. So that is why AICTE has introduced Universal Human Value course, okay, and also minor degree in Universal Human Value. Why are we here? It is not just making money and become successful. It is the serving the poorest to the poorest, serving the nation. That attitude should come in our young people. And when that comes, education is complete. Education will not be complete without that component. So that's where I think we need to emphasize more in our higher education on these aspects. And I hope we are in the right direction, but we need to do that at scale. And we have a big challenge. As I told you, large number of people are coming to higher education. We need more universities, more colleges, and also a quality education, but flexible, light but tight kind of a concept has to come in higher education.